Hello there, my name is Twin Peaks, host of Defunct Games News, the Starscream to Cyril's Game Over Megatron. And this is Defunct Games News, your gaming news of the week. Coming up this week, well actually no, before we start, my Dreamcast story. So I was standing in a Toys R Us and I was talking to one of the attendants, and basically there are... The PS5 goes live as Sony hold their latest PS5 reveal event. It's game day as we look through the games showcased at the event. Other highlights to come include gaming adverts that have to be seen to be believed. And in the end, the doctor basically said that's the reason they're so freakishly large, but they're medically safe. Happy now? Okay, great.
But he didn't say anything!
Anyway, on to our first story of the week. Sony had a chance to drop some fresh bars after Microsoft's attempt at some sick schemes last week. Sorry, I'm too street for my own good sometimes. Anyway, Sony had their PS5 reveal event this week, and it's safe to say it made some waves. As has become customary in the last few months, it's been tit for tat, with the sex box and the psst going all out to entice people to pick up the latest slice of gaming goodness when they drop in the holidays of this year. This week, having seen Xbox's hand, Sony decided to call instead of raise, it seems. The biggest news from the event was that Sony announced on Wednesday that the PS5 will launch on the 12th of November, with the standard PS5 costing $499 and the digital version costing $399. The launch date is only 2 days after the release of Microsoft's Xbox Series X, which previewed last week. The full VAT version of each console going head-to-head on price, it seems. But interestingly, the digital version of the PS5 being a whole $100 more expensive than the equivalent Xbox Series S. But it is important to stress that the PS5 digital version retains the same power as its harder big brother, while the Series S will suffer from inferior functionality when compared to the Xbox. I mean, who knows, maybe Microsoft will announce a Series E in the interim to bridge the gap between the performance of both boxes and complete the joke.
We're waiting.
But what's more likely is that Xbox want you to pick up both versions at some stage, whereas Sony are coming in hard. What?
Giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
Anyway, the event itself fixated on the games at launch, especially a big portion of the event dedicated to games that are going to be coming out, and also games that have already come out that you probably already own. But we'll touch on that in the second story later on. However, while the date and price reveal took all of 6 seconds of screen time of a total 42-minute presentation, it was enough to get people comparing and contrasting not only the units now, but also prospective plans of each console and what they have to do to win this generation of console protracted disagreements. Or war, if you twist my arm. And while Sony chose not to undercut the Xbox's price for either unit, and it did not offer any kind of monthly plan akin to Microsoft's All Access package in the presentation, they ended by announcing that pre-orders for the console go live effective immediately, with various retailers announcing that they were taking orders, and well, for lack of a better phrase, it really hit the fan. Many retailers reported that they'd sold out immediately, while many of the purchased pre-order consoles were showing up on eBay in the UK within minutes of the announcement, which, in tandem with the stories surrounding shortages the PS5 may have had last week, it's not how Sony imagined this gambit would play out. And despite the self-inflicted pre-order hell for the PS5, a recent Bloomberg report indicated that customers may need to brace themselves for supply shortages at launch, as well as possibly reduced or altered promotion compared to Sony's typical product releases in response. And while these supply shortages are not directly due to COVID-19, Sony seemed to outright deny that it was happening to begin with, calling the reports false. Which is fine, if you ignore the fact that Sony themselves denied that pre-orders would be kind of going live without any kind of, hey guys, they're going to be going live on this day, as was the case with Xbox giving plenty of notice of pre-orders to give everyone in theory a fair chance of getting a hit in, as opposed to this, where Sony just went, here it is, go buy it.
No, definitely not now. We don't know what happened there. We had nothing to do with it. I got a message from someone saying people are lining up at stores, and we had no idea why. So I think it's safe to say, for all of your viewers, we'll let you know when pre-order will happen. We will let you know. It's not going to happen with a minute's notice.
I mean, far be it for me to get in the way of all that polite posturing and the firm but direct hand gestures. Oh yeah, you really give that left hand a scene too. In any event, we're nearing game time for the next gen battle for supremacy, and both companies have laid out their plans of gaming domination. Microsoft with their all-in-one package available monthly that perhaps lacks a little bit of day one potency, and Sony with their shoot first, shoot some more, shoot after that, and then worry about the backwards compatibility confirmation later, before going gunning again tact. Or ramming as many games at launch as you as Final Fantasy now has of installments. Interesting tacks both. Cyril and I actually had a fairly lengthy discussion about this at our most recent Defunct Games meeting. And we both agreed, frankly, at this point it's just too close to call, with both consoles employing different tactics and strategies and potentially aiming for different markets at release. It's just too hard to call it between the two of them right now, with potentially Microsoft having the edge after the current events, and obviously depending on what faux pas befall the companies in the interim period between now and November. This was all, of course, before I was asked to leave the meeting by the bosses and told to get back to work while Cyril discussed his gold-plated yacht tour of Game Over that he's doing in Dubai later on next year. Anyway, we want to hear what your thoughts are on the releases now we've got the majority of the information that we're going to need. Which of the two entices you the most? Which of the two are you more excited about? And which of the two do you think will win the hashtag Gaming Console Awards Generation War thing? Leave us your thoughts in the comment section below.
Fight!
And now we look back at Defunct Games this week, and as always, Cyril has been a busy little bee for you gamettes and gamers. First up, you had the latest edition of the series where he always spoils you, Game Over, which covered Mega Man all the way from 1 till 6, a mammoth task in its own right. As Cyril comments, in an effort to see how the stories and ending evolved over these 7 years, I think it's finally time we turn our attention to the Blue Bomber. And also this week, he dropped a review of the suicide of Rachel Foster. I'd like to say it doesn't sound as bad as it actually is, but no, it's as bad as it is. The review to one side, this sadly got me on the rabbit hole of horror movie reviews on YouTube, which helped me realise I'm really never gonna watch The Fly or The Thing. No, you man the hell up and culture yourself. Hey man, there's nothing wrong with not liking body horror. Okay, Dave, thank you. Oh, and anyway, the review was really good as well. So go watch it. Later, after this, of course. Now, as we mentioned in our first story, Sony lent hard into what games are going to be available at release and indeed beyond. It spent a lot of time focusing on those games you're going to be able to get your grubby little mitts on come November when this bad boy hits shelves. With a full 40 minutes devoted to games that you will be able to play, as well as some you can play right now. So how will we have time to cover 40 minutes worth of content in just 5 minutes, I hear you ask? Well, stop yelling at me, I retort, and answer you with just 6 words. Sports Games Caster, Slick Dick Johnson. Sports Games Caster, still a thing? Sure. Dick? Hello games fans, it's your boy Slick Dick here, and it's game day. Make no mistake, we have all the games for you. New games, old games, games you want to own and games you already own. All from the good folks at Sony. And without further ado, let's get into it, gamers and gamettes. Holy S! Sony going hard right from the get-go as they drop Final Fantasy 16, a cinematic trailer with glimpses of summoned Shiva and Ifrit, along with a medieval fantasy-like setting. It can only be Final Fantasy, and if this is how we kick off, just how will we continue, folks? Up next, we follow up with a round of Spider-Man Miles Morales with an extended gameplay trailer that features the newest villain, the Tinkerer, a villain that is likely to confuse fans of Tinkerbell and Eurolagnia alike, but a strong follow-up with the release date of Holiday 2020. Oh, wow. Knock, knock, who's there? It's only bloody Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy. Coming in 2021, really interesting given the makers of Just Cause are behind what looks like an open world look at Hogwarts in the pre-Victorian era. And coming up next, we have Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War 3 fonts. Great. Moving on, we have Resident Evil Village and still no signs of zombies or brain eating or indeed anything resembling a creepy old lady. Oh, holy crap, there she is. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hashtag scary sis. Up next, we have ourselves a new Deathloop gameplay trailer, which might suggest that the characters may pair up to form rivalries or contribute to the story beyond the main protagonist of the last reveal event. But we'll have to wait for Q2 of 2021 find out for sure. Continue with a quick Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition announcement, followed up by a really nice Oddsworld Soulstorm gameplay trailer. Really great move there. It seems to retain the original 2.5D presentation and gameplay style. Whoa, Katie bar the door, ladies and gentlemen, because it looks like someone's going mainstream here. Five Nights at Freddy's security breach is official, and I have no idea how Freddy is going to step up his game this time. But he could make better use of his week. Use of all 7 days for a start, but a new location of Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex is a great place to start. And now we have the easiest game of all time, Demon's Souls extended gameplay. And as you can see, it's perhaps easier than breathing, it seems. I have seen harder marshmallows in this game. I mean, oh, snap, he actually died. Okay, take it all back. Looks epic as fuck. And, finally, it seems we have the Unreal Engine 4 FORTNITE gameplay reveal, which, I mean, it is shocking that FORTNITE is coming to PS5, and to that person who finds it shocking, I have a pyramid-based scheme I'd very much like to discuss with you. But frankly, it's just such a disappointing way of ending the reveal. I mean, surely there has to be a... oh, wait a minute, what's this? Oh my god! Oh my... It's only a God of War Ragnarok teaser trailer! Boy, howdy, do we have ourselves some hype now. Whew, well, I mean, that brings this game day to a close, ladies and gentlemen. The final score. Games that blew your mind 4. Games Apple refused to mention 1. A great game day all in all. Back to you in the studio, Lorne. I want a vial of whatever he's on, and lots of it.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Anyways, what game of those are you more excited than Dick about, if that's even humanly possible to be? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments section below.
Whoa, look who's on the ball this week.
Yeah, I know, I'm on the ball engagement-wise this week.
You're not normally.
Well, I'm more on the ball than you are, Dave. I mean, every single week I have to carry you. Every week, without fail, I complain about getting... And finally, ladies and germs, this week we take a look back at some of the stories you might have missed. But that's a bit of a fib, because this week we're fixating on gaming advertisements, because trust me on this, gaming played a blinder this week when it came to adverts, and as in actually blinding. So just pre-warning you in advance, you are welcome. So, kicking us off first, I think we better keep with the PS5 motif, don't you? With Sony dominating this news week as it has this show. Sony released a trailer for the PS5 that was supposed to be invoking the emotionality of playing, but frankly just reminded me that while I'm supposed to be watching the future of gaming, I really do need to get around to buying that CSI New York box set for my grandmother for Christmas. I know, sorry, I've probably ruined that going forward for you. There's nothing else I can compare it to. Unless... Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. Perhaps the most recent Japanese advertisement for Crash Bandicoot 4 can add some levity but bring some seriousness back into proceedings. I stand corrected then.
What? Why? Why?
Okay. Not great. But maybe Xbox can save the gaming industry's graces with the terrible choices in advertising with some dope bars and a wonderful techno track that they dropped promoting their Game Pass this week.
So many games, all on your phone. So many games, get in the zone. So many games, on your tablet. So many games, you gotta have it. So many games.
Yeah, bloody terrible, wasn't it? Game developers and publishers everywhere, can I just ask you one very, very simple question? Just one tiny question. How hard is it to produce an advertisement that basically says, here's a cool thing, go and buy it? How hard is that? By the way, don't forget to buy your brand new Defunct Games mug and t-shirt available at www.defunctgameshop.com. Buy. Disclaimer, products may or may not exist. Well, that's been your happenings of the week. My name's been Lorne Riseley. This has been Defunct Games News. Apologies for the lack of retro-centric content this week, but something PlayStation Revive and advertisements that were too funny not to pass up. So, my bad. Next week, I promise we'll cover something fun. Something light, like Sega actually releasing a genetically mutated speedster mammal, or a miniaturized Death Star that plays Game Boy cartridges. Something fun. Pinky promise. In the meantime though, be sure to go and check out the Defunct Games Discord and indeed all the other videos that Cyril, all the all-powerful gold-plated Cyril, that he's produced for you this week, including reviews, and indeed everything that is to come, including quizzes that probably have me in them, but maybe don't for budgetary reasons and they got someone better and more handsome and cooler. I don't know. In the meantime though, thank you very much for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Let's all thank collectively God for Chris Evans, who won social media this week. I couldn't go the episode without mentioning it. If you don't know what's going on, Google it. You won't be disappointed. And trust us, we have mailed his social media win award. It's in the post. But in the interim period between now and when he receives it, again, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And we'll see you soon.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Defunct Games News. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that Lorne will be back next Sunday with a brand new episode. Now, here's the question I have for you. Are you ready to buy a next generation console? I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm eager to see what the companies will be able to do with the brand new hardware. But I don't know, it definitely feels like both Sony and Microsoft are not prepared to release new consoles. Maybe you disagree. Either way, let me see your thoughts in the comments below. In other news, this week is going to be filled with reviews, including Tamarin, Art of Rally, Bartlow's Dread Machine, Color Jumper, and more. If that sounds good to you, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,